Hello everyone, this is Somashekar working as assistant professor in Ramachandra Engineering College in Civil Department. Today we are going to discuss regarding environmental impact assessment and its life cycle and its stages and initial environmental examination, which is a preliminary report. So let us get into the subject. Let us get into the initial environmental examination. So, initial environmental examination is a means of reviewing the environmental integrity of projects to determine whether or not EIA level studies can be undertaken. In this sense, IEE can be used for project screening to determine which projects require a full scale EIA. That means before going to analyze a particular proposal under environmental impact assessment, they need to check initially by going through preliminary examination, that is known as initial environmental examination, which is a preliminary one which decides whether this project is sent into the EIA or not, or whether this examination is fulfilling or not. That's what we are discussing. So, if any project is a large scale one, then this initial environmental examination, which is followed by environmental impact assessment also. But in some small scale projects, for which initial examination is enough. So that's why IEE is a preliminary examination board which will examine the different proposals that are getting under its process. So IEE will have several other uses for ensuring project oriented environmental management as well as minimizing the effort, expense, and delay in carrying out such planning. So, in such a manner, they will ensure project oriented environmental management by minimizing the effort, expenses, and delay in carrying out such planning. So, if the project that is enough for IEE, they will let it finalize there itself and they will minimize the effort of the expenses and delay in carrying that project by sending into the EIA, which is not mandatory for some of the projects. So that IEE involves assessing the potential environmental effects of a proposed project that can be carried out within a very limited budget. For small scales, they will initially preliminary survey will done, and that is enough for that particular project to get the approval. So they will get the approval from that IEE examination, which is a preliminary one, and they will conduct in a very low budget manner, and it will be based on the available recorded information that is given by the judgment of an expert. So that is the main motto of the IEE. IEE is a preliminary one which will be taken place before EIA, and this IEE will finalize whether that report has to be sent to the EIA or will it be enough for this examination or not. If it is a small scale one, they will finalize here itself. If it is a large scale one, this preliminary report will be used as a primary report for next examination in the environmental impact assessment board. So if on the other hand full scale EIA is required, IEE can be great help as a mechanism. That's what we already discussed. That is, EIA is required if for a full scale project, then IEE report can be acted as a primary mechanism to determine the identify key issues that merit full analysis in EIA and to designate the issues that deserve only a cursory discussion. So if any institution or any large scale industry that is initially first going under IEE, a small report will be driven by the IEE. That report will be used for the EIA in the next stage to guide to identify the key issues that merit full analysis in EIA and to designate the issues. That's what the mechanism done in the EIA for the large scale projects. It may also identify other environmental review and consultation requirements so that necessary analysis or studies can be made currently with EIA. This would reduce delay and eliminate redundant or extraneous discussion from EIA reports. So that's what we are discussing. If any small scale project, for initially for every project they will undergo IEE first initial preliminary. If any project is a large scale one, this IEE report will be initially used as a primary report in the case of a EIA extension. Otherwise, there will be a final report which will be made for the small scale industry. In the case of IEE, that report is enough. Therefore, for most industrial development projects, IEE is desirable simply from the economic point of view. Next topic is regarding life cycle analysis. Life cycle analysis means it is a cycle for which the manufacturing, production, and transport and useful and maintenance of that particular product and end of that product. These are the stages that include in the life cycle analysis. So life cycle analysis is a standard international method designed to measure the national environmental impact of goods, products, services, and buildings over the production life cycle, from the extraction of raw materials to manufacturing, consumption, and disposal. So what is meant by life cycle here? Here life cycle is nothing but the production, manufacturing, transportation, and thereby the usefulness of that product and the end of the life of that product, which is a cycle one. If the product can be recycled or renewable, then that cycle will again continues. So there will be some irreversible products and there will be some renewable products or reversible products which can be done based on the necessity of its usefulness. So life cycle analysis provides a clear picture of production flows, that is energy and materials, so as to enhance their environmental performance. Here if you observe the cycle, the first and the foremost work that is taken place in this life cycle is production of raw materials, production of packaging materials. Next one is manufacturing, that raw materials production, which is from any agricultural fields or any other raw materials which are utilizing by the factories or industries in order to manufacture some products. Initially these raw materials has to be produced. After that producing, those materials will be used for manufacturing of any other product or packaging, and these manufactured materials will be transported to the required place where that usefulness and maintenance is taken place. And after that maintenance and taken place, then that material will go for the producting usage and end of life. If that product is can be renewable or reversible, then it again that cycle continues. So that is a cycle where you can observe some renewable resources and non-renewable resources. If you observe here in the circle, mineral resources consumption, which is non-renewable, energy consumption is also non-renewable, water consumption is also non-renewable. But due to the rainfall, we can get the water again. That is we have also that cycle which is hydrological cycle. So water somehow renewable, but there is a scarcity of the water also. Energy is also. Next, emissions to air, emissions to water, waste products. So these are comes. So this is the life cycle. Next we discuss regarding the preparation of environmental base map. So what is meant by this EBM? Environmental base map. An important requirement is preparation of an environmental base map is showing the salient informations. This environmental information map or base map shows some salient means important features or important information that is regarding planning, final decision, and next one is planning, final decision. Meanwhile, some of the work will be taken place in between. So how this includes, let us discuss regarding this. This planning includes the essential background information on the environmental situation so that the reviewer, by referring to this, can readily interpret the report text and especially the conclusions and recommendations. So after this environmental impact board has analyzed and given some report which is proposed by a particular industry, that will be taken with some planning. So for an industrial development project, EIA thus usually includes demography, land use infrastructure, receiving water, groundwater and soil conditions, other industries and other waste streams, institution, ecological resources, area of cultural, architectural and tourist issues. So which will be planning? Planning means that industry where it should be laid, how much land it should be used, and how, if the water is necessary for the production, where resources is water is receiving, and groundwater and soil conditions at a particular place where this industry is to be laid, and other industries and other waste streams, institutions, ecological resources, area of cultural, architectural, and archaeological tourists. These all factors will be planned before any industry is to be developed. Next, the EBM should be portrayed as simply as possible. It should not be very clumsy, it should be very simple. And for this purpose, a schematic type drawing will usually be more appropriate in the case of this EBM, which will be help in order to give a right view without any clumsiness. That a map drawn strictly to scale without any extra draft. So that is regarding preparation of environmental base map. Thank you.